Okay, gotta get to that balance point. Thanks for tuning in today. Today, what I'm gonna do is talk about having so many electric vehicles. I can totally ride more than one at a time, I swear. But in reality, what I'm gonna talk about today is this new one that I'm standing on, the One Wheel Pint X. Do a little initial review of it, tell you what it is, etc., etc. Whee! So as you can see from me rolling around with virtually no effort, this thing is a self-balancing board in at least this direction, but not this direction. So just gonna start talking about the operation of this guy. It really does feel like being on a balance board. You have this left-right sort of thing. If you were ever on a segway, it's the exact same self-balancing thing of a segway, except for you don't have the two-wheel turning going on. Or if you've ridden one of those, what are they called, hoverboards? Yeah, the hoverboards, it's kind of the same, but it's more like a skateboard, side to side on this. So at really low speeds, the only thing that I'm doing to keep balance is actually changing where I'm sitting on the tire, and then side to side, it keeps me balanced automatically like that. So it's pretty intuitive to ride, especially if you've ever skateboarded, especially if you've ever snow skated, which, just as an aside, I haven't really seen people in the snow skate world talk about these things for keeping fit when snow skate season comes around. And I've always had a really, really hard time, except for the one year I had a half pipe in the shop. I've had a really hard time keeping my fitness level to that to where I could actually enjoy the snow skating every season, because in Missouri there's really not that much snow. You know, we get a couple days here and there, you know, 3 days here, and a month later you get 3 days there. So there's really not a lot of practice for it. And the way that this thing balances and stands, and the way that I have to press on the edges to, you know, do turns, even these, you know, really slow, tight turns, the pressing action is exactly the same in pretty much all ways as a snow skate. So I'm pretty excited for this new season, you know, wintertime snow skate season to come up, because I'm gonna be able to be in practice. So that's the operation of it. Really why I got this machine was because of that, and also I rode one and realized that, you know, this sort of active fitness is not something that's easy to get, especially with fun. So despite some of the issues that people have with One Wheel not letting you work on your board, which honestly I'm not really scared of, it's you know, it seems to be a good product. Now long term we'll see how it works out, but that's kind of the, you know, the where and the why of why I got this board. And maybe I'll make some parts for it, who knows. I've been helping a dude that is making replacement wheels / motor housings for them. He isn't a motor engineer. He knew that I was. He gave me a call because we've got a long relationship from the e-bike world. So you're gonna see those on the market after he gets lots and lots and lots of testing done. He's on his second prototype. It's already a good motor, and he is working on 5 more prototypes because he's, you know, let's call him a designer. He doesn't have the engineering pedigree. I don't have the engineering pedigree, but he understands design. He's been a machinist. You know how the world works in that. Some people have skill sets, and he has a skill set and is going to be making parts for these that are going to be rad. So let's see, what else on this? This one, the Pint, specifically the X model that I got, has about 18-ish miles of range, 18 miles an hour top. I haven't quite hit that. I top out at like 15. I don't need to go fast and break an arm or a shoulder or something like that. I'm just kind of using this to play around with, have some fun, do some circles, work on my, you know, my toe side turns or whatever, see if I can work on my heel turns. It's much harder in a tight space. And the next thing I was going to talk about was actually how this thing shuts off. So you can see when I put my finger on this side of the pad, you get a blue light over there. When I put it on this side of the pad, you get it over there. And if you're going really low speed and you take 1/2 of your foot off of the machine, it just stops running. So that's what happened there. I was going really slow. I had to lift up my toe a little bit to keep balance, and it just shut off. Which is kind of annoying at low speed, especially since I have a really high arch. You can maybe see that blue light just keeps like do 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 do. I'm not a really heavy guy. I don't always trigger that pad. So I have to move my foot around, you know, just get it just right so that at least the blade of my foot is on both sides of the pad, because otherwise if I get my foot too far out, yeah, the high arch just doesn't seem to trigger it very well. That's really the only issue that I've found with this guy so far. Yeah, you can see that blue light just kind of going crazy with me rolling around. Now at high speed, you know, going more than a couple of miles an hour, it really isn't an issue. But so far, it's been working pretty good. I've been using it for light commuting here and there, you know, a couple miles, which I only live a couple miles away from the house. I've been using it a lot to learn switch stance riding, which is extremely interesting for me because I've never been good at switch. And if I just ride at switch all the time, or I have it in bi-directional mode right now, as you can see, I'm getting better at riding switch, and I'm also getting better at riding normal, just because if switch is harder, normal becomes easier. I ride switch all the time, you know, the hard way, and then the normal riding, what would it be called? My chocolate foot or whatever riding has just become faster and faster, even though I haven't pushed in that direction. As you can see, going slow, kind of hard to balance. Good core workout, good ankle workout, good feet workout. Quickly, I'll just go through like the app and stuff like that. It does come with an app. You can change how it acts. When you get it normally, if you stop and put your foot down, instead of going this way, it just shuts the board off, which is good for novice riders, good for people who only want to go in one direction. I didn't like that because I want to learn this direction too, specifically. It's one of the bigger reasons why I got this board. And you can tweak things. There's 4 different settings. There's one that is an elevated for like going uphill, kind of riding park. Normally when you go forwards on these, your front foot ends up being kind of toe down. It feels like riding a nose manual on a skateboard, honestly. Not good for commuting to have that nose up sort of board ride, because you end up having to ride in a weird stance. You know, I felt on that elevated setting that I was literally having to ride like this all the time, and it was extremely tiring on one leg. So I've been riding in the normal modes. I think I'm on the fastest, most responsive one at this point, just because if it's not responsive enough, sometimes you fall trying to catch yourself. And I've been doing a lot of that here lately, but haven't hurt myself, thankfully. But overall, so far, initial impressions on this product, I hesitate to give a 10 out of 10 on anything because there's always room for improvements. I don't like this, you know, foot pad sensor thing being a little, you know, tricky with my foot. But I would probably give it an 8 or a 9. As far as an integrated product, the app is a good experience. It gives you all the information that you would need to on the board, easy to connect. I'm not really fond about having apps for devices in general, so I don't like it. However, their app it's worked out fairly well. They will allow you to use it without location mode turned on too, which is a big one. I've been finding a lot of apps recently won't let me even use them without location services turned on my phone. And I just won't use the apps, to tell you the truth. I will get my old phone, my business phone, and I'll put them on that. And it's like, hey, you can, you know, harvest your data, I guess, all you want from that, but that phone isn't doing anything. So, yeah, that was kind of nice that they didn't require location data on there. If you want to like log your rides and stuff, you do, but you can still use the app otherwise. But so far the performance has been solid. It hasn't dumped me just by accident, other than, of course, you know, me lifting my foot off if I'm trying to go low speed and, you know, do little turns like this. It's been a solid ride. So the only thing that I don't like is the slick tire right now. I've been going off-road a good bit, and it doesn't have good traction being a slick. So looking into getting a new tire. It's like 125 bucks for that. A little steep in my opinion for a little small rubber tire, but I do understand it's probably a small market and they're not making more than maybe thousands at most. And if you're not making tens of thousands of a tire, it's going to be expensive. It's like bicycle tires. They don't have that scale, that economy of scale, like a car tire or a motorcycle tire would have. So yeah, so far been riding a week, getting in really good shape. I am excited for snow skate season to come along, and I have you know, so far not injured myself, but these guys are like magnets to injuries evidently. So I'm just going to ride really cautiously. I've always been a cautious BMXer, always been a cautious skateboarder, always been a cautious rider in general. So maybe, just maybe with a little bit of luck, I will avoid the pothole at night that I don't see that takes me down, and we'll be fine. So if you do have any questions about them, I'm really not the best guy to ask because I just got one of these, but feel free to leave them down below. Maybe somebody else can help you out. And does anybody else have one of these? Are you a snow skater and do you like these? Or have you not even heard about these, hadn't considered them? Or if you do have them, how do you like them? Let me know in the comments if you're a big commuter on them or if you just play around, you know, maybe even go to a skate park. I'm thinking about building 2 dirt quarter pipes. I guess it'd be a half pipe. Build a dirt half pipe in my yard so that I can just kind of go back and forth on my driveway, on each edge of the driveway. I've already got a little bit of slope on each edge of my driveway, so it's kind of, you know, why not? It's kind of fun to go up and whee, and then go back down the other way. Whee, it's like a half pipe. Yep. I'm just a big kid with toys, I guess. Yeah. So leave your comments down below if you got them. Hope you appreciated this video, and I'm going to keep appreciating riding this. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.